You can understand addiction cognitively, and you can want sobriety desperately. But if your nervous system is screaming for relief, you will eventually reach for whatever quieted it before. And for me, that was alcohol. I was hospitalized for a week because my liver was failing from drinking. And even after that, even knowing I could die, I still went straight to the liquor store after leaving the hospital. I couldn't stay sober. That's when I realized this wasn't a willpower problem. Something much deeper was driving my addiction. And if you're someone battling an addiction, I'm willing to bet you don't have a willpower problem either. I had wanted sobriety more than anything. I had hit rock bottom more times than I could count. I even discovered that rock bottom had a trapdoor. That's crazy, but it does. I wanted peace. I had wanted my life back. I wanted to stop hurting myself and all the people around me. But here's what I didn't understand yet. If your nervous system isn't on board, your thoughts don't get the final vote. I had admitted I was an alcoholic. I worked the 12 steps. I had a sponsor. I went to meetings every single day, and still I kept relapsing. What I didn't know was that 12-step programs only have a 5 to 12% success rate. It wasn't until I stopped trying to recover through willpower alone and started trying through my body that I was finally able to stay sober. For 2 years, I was in and out of rehabs. Every single one pushed the same solution. 12-step programs are the only way to stay sober. If I relapsed, the message was always the same. I hadn't surrendered enough. I wasn't honest enough. I wasn't working the program hard enough. So I tried harder. I attended AA every single day for over a year, sometimes multiple times a day. I fully admitted I was an alcoholic. I worked the 12 steps. I worked with a sponsor, and yet my body stayed in constant distress. I lived with overwhelming anxiety. I was always on edge, and when life triggered me, I drank. I could be completely clear in my mind about what I wanted when I was safe at home, and I knew I wanted sobriety. I knew I wanted to heal. But the moment I was triggered, overwhelmed, or emotionally flooded, my nervous system hit the brakes. Panic, confusion, and overwhelm would take over. And those exact states that I felt inside would create that exact same external reality, causing chaos. Think about it. If you've ever tried taking away one coping mechanism, like alcohol or any other substance, that first coping mechanism will often be replaced with another because no one ever taught you how to regulate your nervous system. I myself couldn't stay sober longer than 3 months despite trying everything. Each relapse lasted longer, took more from me, and put me in more danger. And the shame kept deepening. What I've come to realize now is that as addicts, we are often driven by how we feel in our bodies. If your body feels unbearable, it doesn't matter what you know. You can understand addiction cognitively, and you can want sobriety desperately. But if your nervous system is screaming for relief, you will eventually reach for whatever quieted it before. And for me, that was alcohol. AA and other 12-step programs are primarily a top down approach, meaning they focus on insight, verbal processing, accountability, and behavioral restraint. They focus up here. Those tools can help some people, but they also assume that the body we live in is regulated enough to access them. Mine wasn't. And if you are in early recovery, I'm guessing that yours isn't either. I wasn't drinking because I didn't understand addiction. I was drinking because my nervous system lived in survival mode. And willpower does not matter in a dysregulated body. That isn't a character flaw, it's just our physiology as humans. Modern addiction research increasingly links substance use disorder to chronic nervous system dysregulation and trauma that is stored in our bodies. Researchers also describe addiction not as a moral failure, but as an attempt to regulate an unbearable internal state. Neuroscience also shows that bottom up approaches, like working in our bodies, help calm the stress response before cognition, our brain, is even accessible. That means you can't think your way out of a nervous system stuck in a threat. Everything changed when I stopped going to AA and started going to yoga every single day. Instead of sitting in a chair talking about my cravings and everything I did wrong, I learned how to work with my body. And for the first time, I had tools I could use in real life. Bessel van der Kolk, who is the leading trauma researcher and author of The Body Keeps the Score, even stated that the results of his studies showed that yoga has more beneficial effects than medications. Yoga taught me somatic tools beyond poses. An example of one of those tools is breath work. When a trigger would hit, I wouldn't have to white knuckle it, and I didn't have to wait for a meeting. I could regulate my nervous system on my own. And when my body felt safer, then the craving stopped controlling me. And that's when sobriety finally stuck. Practicing yoga daily was so transformational that I decided to become a yoga teacher and went on to also receive certifications as a somatic integration practitioner so I could find the best tools to help others suffering from addiction. I want to share 5 of my favorite tools that can help you in a moment that you're struggling. For me, these are the tools that have helped me not to relapse. Tool number 1 is regulated breathing. Like I mentioned, one of the most powerful tools I learned through yoga was breath work. Slow, extended exhales tell your nervous system that you are safe in your body. You can try this by inhaling through your nose for 4 counts and exhaling slowly for 6 or 8. Repeating this for just a few minutes can reduce the intensity of cravings. Tool number 2 is grounding through sensation. Addiction thrives in disassociation. Bringing attention back to physical sensation can interrupt that spiral. You can place your feet firmly on the ground, press your palms together, and name 5 things you can physically feel. This helps bring you out of survival mode and back into the present moment. Tool number 3 is daily movement. Cravings are often trapped stress energy. So instead of suppressing them, moving your body by stretching, rocking, walking, or doing simple yoga allows that energy to discharge instead of turning into a relapse. For some people, this could be as intense as running or going to the gym, but for me, it was just yin yoga, which is the most slow moving form of yoga with postures that are usually held on the ground. Tool number 4 is asking a different question. So instead of asking, how do I stop myself? Try asking, what does my body need right now? Maybe it's rest. Maybe it's movement. Maybe it's regulation. Addiction is often a signal, not a failure. Tool number 5 is to create a nervous system toolkit of your own. What changed my life wasn't having one perfect technique, it was having options when my nervous system was activated. When you're triggered, your body doesn't need willpower. It needs familiar tools that you could keep in a toolkit and reach for automatically. A nervous system toolkit is simply a small collection of practices that you already know will help regulate your body. So, this includes slow breathing, grounding, gentle stretching, rocking, walking, a short yoga sequence. I have so many that I can name, but it's up to you to create this toolkit box. And I have many tools I share on this channel that you can use to build this toolkit of yours, and I will link them below in the description. The goal here isn't to do everything. The goal is to give your nervous system choices when it's overwhelmed. Over time, using these tools consistently teaches your body that relief doesn't have to come from substances, and that healing happens when your body learns there are safer ways to regulate. I want you to know that I truly care about your recovery. During my time attending AA, 3 of my friends who were working the AA program relapsed. All 3 overdosed and all 3 died. Knowing that recovery options exist outside of AA can literally be a matter of life and death, which is why I created this YouTube channel. I'm not saying AA never works. I'm saying it didn't work for me, it didn't work for my loved ones, and it doesn't work for many people whose addiction is rooted in trauma and nervous system dysregulation. People don't fail recovery programs. Programs fail to meet people where their bodies are. If you've tried to get sober and you keep relapsing, you are not broken. You are not weak and you are not failing. Your body may simply be asking for a different kind of support. Somatic body based recovery gave me my life back, not because I tried harder, but because I finally felt safer in my body. I share nervous system based practices and somatic yoga on this channel, and I've linked resources below like somatic practices and breath work to help when triggers hit. These are the same resources that have helped me stay sober when nothing else would. Remember, recovery isn't about control, it's about nervous system regulation, and you are never doing this alone. Thank you for joining me, and I'm always here for you on my channel.